Hello guys, in the last video we have discussed about the data objects vectors. In this video we are going to see about the data objects, matrices, arrays and factors. Let's first discuss about matrices in detail. Matrices are two-dimensional data objects in the sense it consists of both rows as well as columns. It is a homogeneous data structure in the sense it can store only a single type of data elements. Matrix can be created using the function matrix of. So within this function you have to mention the data as well as parameters such as n row, n column. So n row represents the number of rows to be created and n column represents the number of columns to be created. So in this example, I have mentioned the data elements from 1 to 4 and the number of rows is mentioned as 2 and number of columns is specified as 2. Okay. As a result, 2 cross 2 matrix is created with the elements from 1 to 4. You can find the dimension of matrix using the function dim of. So within the parenthesis, you have to mention the name of the matrix you have created. So here the matrix which we are using is MAT. So dim of mat will provide you the dimension of the matrix MAT. The matrix MAT has 2 rows as well as 2 columns. So it has returned the dimension as 2, 2. By default, this matrix of function will fill the matrix with the values columns by column. So in this example, our data elements are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2 is first filled in the columns and in the second column, the remaining data elements are filled. So in case if you want to fill the data elements row by row, you have to add an additional parameter. When you pass this parameter by row equal to true, whatever elements given data elements will be added row by row. So in this example, we have the data elements from 10 to 15. So initially 10, 11, 12 is stored as rows and 13, 14, 15 is stored as second row. So whenever you want to store the data elements in row by row basis, you have to pass this additional parameter by row equal to true. By default, this by row will be false. That's why the data elements will be filled in column by column basis. Here we have two vectors named x and y. So if you want to create a new matrix using this vectors x and y, and if you want to add the elements as column by column, you can make use of this function cbind. Also, if you want to add new elements, new data elements to an existing matrix in form of columns, you can make use of this cbindof function. So the next function is rbindof. So if you have two vectors and if you want to create a new matrix by adding the elements row by row, you can make use of this function rbindof. Or if you want to add a set of vectors to the already existing matrix in form of rows, you can make use of this function rbindof. In this example, x vector takes the elements from 1 to 3. Y vectors takes the elements from 7 to 9. So, since we have used cbindof function, 1, 2, 3 is added initially as a column. 7, 8, 9 is added as the second column. So in this example, we have used the function rbindof. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 is saved as row and 7, 8, 9 is saved as the second. So whenever you create a matrix, you have to make sure the data length of the matrix should be a submultiple or multiple of rows or columns. So in this example, so we have created a matrix using the data from 1 to 10. So the data length is 10. But here the number of rows is 3 and number of columns is 3. Okay. So the expected number of elements in the matrix is 3 cross 3, which is 9. Okay. But the actual length of the matrix is 10. So this 10 is not a submultiple of 3. So in this case, you will not be able to create a matrix. You will get an error message as data length 10 is not a submultiple or multiple of the number of rows. So you have to be very careful while defining the number of rows, number of columns as well as the length of the data. Now let's see how to access the elements or how to access rows of matrix. Okay, for example, let's consider this matrix. So this matrix is having elements, data elements from 1 to 9, and it consists of 3 rows as well as 3 columns. So in case if you want to access a particular row, you have to mention the name of the matrix, and within the square bracket mention the row number. So in this example, so if I want to access the first row, so matrix within the square bracket 1 comma will return the first row of the matrix. Okay, in case if you want to access a particular column, so for example, let's consider I want to access this third column of the matrix. Okay, so I have to mention the matrix name within the square bracket comma followed by the column number. Okay, in case if you want to access a particular value or particular element, so you want to mention both row as well as column number. So here if I want to access this element 7, so element 7 lies in the first row, third column. So the value to be mentioned is 1 comma 3. Or suppose if I want to access this element 5, so 5 lies in the second row as well as second column. So mention the name of the matrix within the square bracket, mention the row as well as column numbers. So next example, so I am trying to access the element at second row, fourth column. Okay, I am getting error since this matrix is of 3 rows, 3 columns. So fourth row does not exist. So if you try to access an element from the row or column which doesn't exist, you will get an error, such type of error, subscript out of bounds. You can even access multiple rows as well as multiple columns. Okay, let's see how to access multiple rows as well as multiple columns. In case if you want to access multiple rows, so mention the name of the matrix. So within the square bracket, make use of COF function. So within COF function, mention the number of rows. Okay, so if I want to access, so this is the matrix I have created. If I want to access the second row as well as third row, okay, I can make use of this function COF. So mention the name of the matrix within the square bracket, use COF function, enter the row numbers, so 2 comma 3 comma. Okay, so this will return the rows 2 and 3. So next, if you want to access multiple columns, so let's consider this example. So if I want to access column 2 and 3, so mention the name of the matrix and within the square bracket, mention comma followed by COF function. So within COF function, mention the column numbers 2 and 3. So it will return the values of the columns 2 and 3. So mathematical operations or arithmetical operations can be performed in matrices. For example, let's consider the matrix A and B. So I can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, even division using these two matrices. Okay. So if I want to add this two matrix, I can make use of this operator plus. So A plus B will provide the addition of two matrix. One thing to be noted is, so here element by element operation takes place. So the first element of A will be added with the first element of 5. So we got the output as 6. Similarly, the second element of A will be added with the second element of B. So the resulting 7 plus 3 is nothing but 10. So similar operations takes place. Similarly, even for subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay. So the same thing happens. So if you want matrix multiplication, which is nothing but the row of first matrix will be multiplied by the row of the column of the second matrix. Okay. If you want to perform matrix multiplication, you have to make use of this operator, percentage sign, asterisk, percentage. So this has to be followed. So A percentage asterisk percentage B will provide you the matrix by matrix multiplication. Now let's see about arrays in detail. So we have discussed about matrices. So matrices are used for storing the data in 2 dimensions. So in case if you want to store the data in more than 2 dimensions, you can make use of this arrays. So arrays is data objects which can be used for storing the data of same type, and even you can store the data in more than 2 dimensions. Okay, so array of function is used for generating arrays. So within this function, you have to pass the parameters. So you have to mention the data you have to mention the data as well as dimension. So since it is of more than 2 dimensions, so you have to use COF function for combining this. So in this example, this A will create an array of elements from 1 to 24. So it will be having 3 rows, 4 columns and 2 matrix. Now let's see how to access the array elements. So in this example, I have created an array of 3 dimension. So it consists of 3 rows, 4 columns and 2 matrix. And the data elements vary from 1 to 24. Okay. So whenever you want to access any data element or any row or column of a array, you have to mention 3 parameters. So first you have to mention the name of the matrix, and within the square bracket you have to mention 3 parameters. So first parameter represents the row number. The second parameter represents the column number. The third parameter represents the matrix number. Okay. In this example, we have 2 matrix. Okay. So in case if I want to print the third row of the second matrix. Okay. So A of 3 comma next term is left empty since I need the third row and all columns of third row of second matrix. So 3 comma 2. So this will return the third row of the second matrix. So if I want to access a particular element, okay, so in this example, if I want to access a particular element of the first matrix, so 7. So the row number is 1, the column number is 3 and matrix number is 1. So A within the square bracket 1 comma 3 comma 1. So this will return the element 7. Okay. In case if I want to return a particular matrix, so entire matrix, either matrix 1 or matrix 2. Okay. So this can be done using A of comma 2. Okay. So this implies you want to return all the rows, all the columns of the matrix 2. So similarly, you can access all the elements of arrays. Now let's discuss about factors. Okay. So whenever you come across a categorical values, an example for categorical value is gender. So gender will have 2 categories, namely male, female. Another example for category is directions. We have 4 different directions, namely north, south, east, west, right? So these categorical values can be represented as factors in R. So factors are nothing but ordered collection of items. Okay, you can store this categorical values as factors in R programming. Okay, so now let's see how to create these factors. So this factor of function is generally used for creating factor. So initially I have created a vector. Okay, so create a vector and now use the function factor of and pass the created vector. So you can do in this way or you can directly pass these values to the function factor of. So now this factor will be normally having levels, a parameter named levels. Okay, so levels are nothing but the different values of the factor. So in this example, the gender is having 2 levels or 2 different values, male and female. Okay, so if you want to check the levels of a factor, you can make use of this function levels. So levels of mention the name of the factor. Here our factor name is fac underscore gender. Okay, so it will return the different values present in the factor. So here the different values are male and female. Okay, so next thing is even you can print the number of levels or number of different values in the factor. So in order to do that, you can make use of this function n levels of mention the name of the factor. It will return the number of different values or number of levels present in the factor. So in this example, we have only 2 different values or 2 categories or two levels, right? So the output is nothing but 2. So that's all guys. Thank you.